I could see why you would maybe be a little bit higher on him because you're seeing probably a lot more Bills tape than I am. Actually, I'm not seeing much Bills tape.
Right.
Just watching the broadcast of a couple of games that I did see last year. But no, dude, he's young. That's the one thing you can say about him that I think is a big benefit to him going forward. Pro Bowler last year, only 21 years old, like I said. Back-to-back 100 tackle seasons, 12 pass defense last year, 12 pass defense in 18, 9 last year. So it seems like he's decent in coverage. Is there anything, or what's the reason you have him higher than, I guess? Because, you have him, up in
I have him
3
at
or 4?
Yeah, I have him at 4, yeah. Now, you're saying, why don't I have him higher? Or
why do you have him higher?
I mean, the things you just talked about in terms of productivity from a tackling standpoint, he can cover. He was the leader of that defense, came in as a rookie, and literally changed the whole face of that defense. When he got there, it was very similar to when Devin Bush came here in Pittsburgh, right? How it kind of changed the face of that defense, especially when we had lost Ryan Shazier, trying to find that 3-down linebacker, a guy that can cover, a guy that can blitz, a guy that can just make a whole bunch of volume tackles. That's what Tremaine is, but Tremaine did it at a higher level his first year, and then he came back that second year and took another step forward. You know what I mean? So we're talking about with Devin, where it's like, all right, we know early on Devin struggled a little bit. Then he got hot, and then he kind of just continued to improve. Now this next year, we're going to see, can he take the step of being the leader of that defense? Because with Tremaine didn't have a Cam Hayward out there. Tremaine didn't have a Minka Fitzpatrick out there. Tremaine didn't have Joe Hayden when he first got there. When he first got there, Tre'Davious White was still young, trying to show that he can be a top tier corner. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they were still new to the team in terms of being whether their first or second year there. And even up front, in front of him, Kyle Williams was his best defensive tackle, but Kyle was on his last year about to retire. So he didn't have that type of star-studded cast around him, and he still was able to be very productive and ultimately change, like I said, the face of that defense. And now, for him in year 2, he took over from not just being out there, but being the leader, being the dog, being the guy that it doesn't matter what the scenario is, that's the guy that's going to make a play for us. So that's why I have him at 4, because just watching him on tape, man, there's nothing he can't do. And he's a freak in terms of like how big and athletic he is. We talked about with Devin. Devin is short. This dude right here, man, he's built like a 3-4 edge rusher.
Yep.
Like he's definitely taller than TJ. He's just a big interior linebacker.
Dude, I could be wrong because I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me here. I think I read 6'5".
He's like 6'5", yes. No, like legit. He looks crazy. Like when you watch him line up, because like I said, I obviously had the opportunity to go up to Bill's training camp last year and see him in person.
6'5".
And when you look at him, you're just like, bro, he doesn't look like he should be playing inside linebacker. He looks like he should be an edge rusher. He got long arms. He's a lean, like built almost like a basketball player. And you just watch him, you're like, you see him getting his stance at linebacker, and it's like, yo, how are you moving like this? How do you have that much power? How are you that big, that tall in doing those type of things? So for me, that's why I was a big fan of his, man. But the productivity is there with it. And the biggest thing, like I said, with any of these Bills players that I've been talking about this year and last year, when you're not playing in your bigger markets from a media standpoint, right? Like your Dallas Cowboys, your Philadelphia Eagles, Cowboys. I mean, not Cowboys, your Giants, obviously Steelers, Patriots, stuff like that. When you're not playing in those major markets from a media standpoint, it usually takes a year or two of you putting out crazy tape for the rest of the league to catch up and say, okay, this guy should start getting that recognition. He start getting accolades. The same thing right here with Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White was balling out a year ago, but it took him having a crazy year this year for him to start being talked about more. Tremaine's the same way. Same concept, man.
Yeah, you're saying big year for him this year. He's gonna keep it up. So yeah, then I wouldn't have a problem at all putting him in the top 5. I don't even have a problem with you putting him in the top 5 now. I just think there's a decent amount of inside linebackers. They have a little bit more longevity. Yeah, that's all. I mean, I have nothing against him. He's had 2 great years in the league right now, and like I said, he's young, so there's a lot of potential there for him too.
Well, and I think too the thing, and we talked about this when we were making our list. A lot of time is, are you like, what do you weigh more for certain players? Because it's hard to keep it the exact same for each scenario.